for any addict to be successful, to move from addiction to a life of freedom, is acceptance. You need to experience acceptance in your life. Now, the problem is that for many addicts, alcoholics, they have been at odds with many entities in the world. They find themselves maybe even as children and teenagers at odds with school systems. Then they become adversaries to police and maybe to family members. And so they've experienced a world of rejection. Sometimes they internalize this and begin to believe that maybe I just am not acceptable. I'm not okay. I may never be okay. Well, that is a very dangerous starting point for anybody to achieve any positive results. Instead, we need to experience acceptance. So acceptance starts from going somewhere and being accepted. That's why I believe that the first letter, AIM, the first letter A, acceptance, is the big key to a successful life away from addictions. Let me explain. At our church, I have experienced people coming in and who had addiction problems, and they were welcomed into our little church. It's not your typical church. And they told me after attending for a few weeks, wow, this is the first time in my life that I felt accepted at a normal part of society. The only time they ever had felt accepted was when they were drinking with buddies or when they were shooting up with some people. And this was the first time they had experienced being in a normal, or what they called a normal part of the world, and being accepted. It's powerful when it happens. It's powerful when they can walk into a room and people know who they are, and they know the failures, and they know that they have experienced rejection, and yet they're still accepted. Very powerful. But this acceptance has a second facet to it. And that is, well, you can probably guess, it's acceptance of yourself. Not some made-up dream, not acceptance of what you could become. And when I say acceptance, I don't mean, wow, I'm great, let me pat myself on the back. No. I'm talking about an honest look, no self-deception, in the mirror. An honest look in the mirror at yourself and seeing yourself for who you are right then. Even though you may have messed things up and you've burned bridges and you've made big mistakes and bad choices, all of that, all of who you are, and you take that in front of a mirror and you say, I accept that this is where I'm at. This is where I'm starting. See, if you can do that, then that's your starting place. And you can decide, okay, I accept this, but I'm not going to choose to keep this. I'm going to change this, or I don't like this about who I am, so I'm going to make myself different over time. I'm going to get the help that I need. See, we're starting, maybe you feel like it's ground zero, but you got to accept that you're at ground zero before you can move on. If you're filled with deception, if you're filled with some kind of a false sense of who you are, or you look in the mirror and all you do is just reject everything there is about you, and you won't look at an honest look at where you're at, I think you're going to have a hard time making it to the next step. So I hope you can do that. I hope you can find a place that will accept you, and then I hope you can get to the place where you can accept